This the intro. It's SB. From Indianapolis, Indiana. Went to Indiana State. Majored in occupational safety management. Working at Milestone Contractors as a safety director for the Indiana North region. And my co-host is I'll let him tell you about himself.
All right, what's good with it? My name is Jalen Banks. I go by Banks. I graduated from Indiana State with a major in athletic training, minor in massage therapy. Currently working as a Geek Squad tech consultant at Best Buy right now, and entrepreneurship as well, like real estate. Um, Other than that, what kind of led you to, you feel me, want to do a podcast, bro?
And the reason I really want to step into the podcast world is because I feel like, especially in the younger generation, I want to say from the college graduates to the people starting off into their field, it's not really no guidance or nobody giving back that knowledge just off natural experiences. So no matter what you went through, we all got different walks in life, but we all got jewels we can give back to the people that's coming right behind us. And after leaving college and the different things I've been through in life, just seeing how other people and other races and other people take care of their people, I just wanted to leave my mark and give back something to the kids younger than me that might look up to me but just not tell me. What about you though? I know I reached out to you about co-hosting. I seen you doing some good things on Twitter with the Bible verses and just from when I met you, I seen you doing some great things. So me reaching out to you was an easy pick. But what made you even say yeah?
I would say based off of one, like upbringing and certain perspectives that I never seen until I got out of the house, out of Chicago, like out of the what I'm used to, the norm, that us over everybody type mentality. So like just experiencing different perspectives and having to adapt to like different environments, or you gonna like basically get ate alive. You feel me? So, and there's a lot of things that a lot of ways that I go into, like different avenues that I go into that most wouldn't. So I learned a lot, and I would rather, you feel me, not have somebody go through the same thing I went through. And also like just my transformation period, even before like doing like the Bible stuff, like just my views on life changed like tremendously. True views on manhood, views on everything. Like it's dope getting a different perspective and be able to, like, you feel me, reach back and, like you said, tell the kids, tell your friends, you feel me, and just spread that word. So it's definitely something I'm passionate about. You see, I keep smiling. Like I told them before, I'm excited, bro. Like I can't be nervous. I'm excited. So appreciate you having me on, my dog.
I appreciate you joining, my brother. So we're gonna jump in. This is the first episode. We're not gonna go too crazy, too in detail. As we go week to week, episode to episode, we make sure we bring on guests or subject matter experts that can actually speak to you about stuff that they've been through. That's one thing that I like to value, is actually having people who's in that bunker, in that war. It's easy to talk about something if you've never, you never done it or you've never been a part of it. It's easy for you to judge it or have your opinion on it. But when you actually was in the fire, actually had to go through those trials and tribulations, you can actually speak to that in volumes. So as we go forward, with more episodes, be on lookout for that type of content. But the first question we're gonna rock with, just to start it off, since we both graduated from Indiana State, both with bachelor's degrees right now. I know you're working on your master's. Do you feel like college is a necessity to be successful?
I feel like to be successful, no. College is a necessity for if you're going to a certain field that needs like that. So like medical, you definitely need college. I'm not having nobody who had a you feel me, a backdoor diploma do no medical stuff.
Open up, give you some open heart surgery for.
Thanks. I tried this on Operation Little Game. Now I'm cool on it. But like as far as like it's college, the tie-ins that that's not necessary. So like $3,000 pre-read, I mean not pre-read, $3,000 for foundational studies like theater and stuff like that, and that has nothing pertaining to your actual major. I feel like that's not needed. I feel like certain, like getting out of the house and from under your parents' roof and going out on your own, yes, that's a necessity. It teaches you a lot about life and teaches you about survival and stuff like that. Everybody experience is different. Some people sank coming out here because they didn't have that support. You feel me? So like it's just that experience for sure, I would say. But as far as needing it to be successful, I wouldn't say that, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs. I know people who graduated, including myself, who's not even using that specific major that they went for, and they went into debt for it, including myself. You feel me? So like and then the fact that America, every time a black person does something, now it's devalued. So now that everybody's graduated, you feel me? Back in the day, everybody was hands-on, factories, stuff like that. Like my pops ain't go to school. Well, he tried, but he stopped. Now they were pushing us to go to college so heavily. Oh, now all these black doctors, black lawyers, black this, black that. Oh, okay. Now you just about a year ago, not even a whole year, they start saying like, oh, well, now college is not a necessity. It's more about your experiences. Who has those experiences? Those what the higher ups who can. Oh, my nephew, let me bring him aboard. He's not bringing that college.
Nepotism happens all the time. And I experience it in my workplace where they just jump out and be like, "Oh, I got they might be majoring in like exercise science. I work at a construction company. Well, that's my daughter. Let me get her in for an internship."
Exactly.
And something she don't know nothing about, or he or she, just because and that's how it works. So I would say college, and I don't want people to get tricked out their position. So,
Right.
and I've heard it happen, especially from art people or people that look like us, where you be out or you be with your homies or wherever you at, and they be like, "You don't need college." Da, 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 this millionaire didn't do this, they didn't do this, but in anything, it takes money to make money. So if you don't have money, you have to find a way to get money to open up those doors. College, that piece of paper can open up those doors for you. But like you said, you got to pick that right piece of paper. So if you got tattoos all up your neck and arms, and you go get a political science degree, 9 times out of 10, you're not trying to be a lobbyist, or you're not trying to get in the one of these parties, and you're not trying to do things that actually will open up things for your degree. So when going to college, I feel like we're put behind the 8 ball, because even in high school they don't teach you the majors that make money. You actually gotta go look for that resources on your own. And even teachers don't get paid that well. So like you went to school this whole time, you didn't win another toy, you didn't win in a debt for a degree that's not even gonna pay you back.
And they teaching kids is raising us. I mean, that's taking care of us when we grow. That's crazy.
So I feel like the whole school system is taught to make you want to work for somebody else. So you go to college, you in high school, they don't teach you financial literacy, they don't teach you how to go buy a house and use this house as an investment, or buy a duplex and live in one side and sell the other side so you get your financial freedom. They want to teach you, okay, you do this, you go here, you work for him, you work up that corporate ladder in that company, but you're never the president of the company. You might get close, you might be the right underneath the president, but you'll never be the president, because that presidential is 9 out of 10 as an in-house type position that'll always be hired from an in-house type of way. So, and our generation, I feel like it's changed what we want it right now. Like, and that's what a lot of kids got to realize. It's when you get out of school with that piece of paper, it's not right now. Like, you're not going to jump out. His job's paying $120,000, $150,000, $200,000, but when you first jump out of college, it's not right now. So like, if you think you're gonna go to college, get a 4-year degree, and jump out and just go get that Porsche or that Vet or that Hellcat right out that next year, that's you living in a fairy tale, man.
If you ain't fortunate, you starting off in the hole. Because as soon as you get off, they hitting you 6 months later. Hey, I need that.
I need that back.
I need that. Yeah.
So I would say I would say if if you're fortunate enough to have somebody in your family, or fortunate enough to have somebody that's already walked across those hot coals and ventured out and made some business moves, learn from them, and then you might be able to jump into their business and then get your schooling on the back end. But once you stop learning, you're dead, in my opinion. So even if it's not college, whatever it may be, even if it's you teaching yourself on your own, you need to have some type of financial literacy, because you could be 17, 18 and stumble upon a diamond in the rough, and now you're making this much money, but now you don't know how to manage the money, you don't know how to put it in assets, you don't know how to do these other things, and you just buying, keeping up with the Joneses. So I feel like it's a check and balance, but the biggest thing is picking, like you said, picking a major that makes sense. If you pick a major that when I first got to college, I played football. So when I first got to college, I promise you, I walked in, it was a snowstorm. This is 24. I promise you, snowstorm, snowing like crazy. I'm on campus for 3 days.
2014.
2014. I haven't met an advisor, nothing, because everything was shut down because it was snowing so hard. So I finally get in to go get my classes and all that good stuff. And she like, what's your major? I'm like, I literally looked at the sheet. I'm like, okay, that's it. Extra sport science. I play football. That makes sense. And she was like, you got CPR class on Saturday. I said, man, that ain't the major. I went undecided. I changed my major right then and there. I'm like,
we had to do the class.
I said, it's over. I said, school on Saturday. I said, I ain't coming to college to go to school on Saturday. So I when I got to college, I literally didn't know what I wanted to do. That's another big thing. It's like having some type of plan, because it was like football or nothing. So I jumped up, bounced around, didn't have a major, didn't know what I was going to do. I did automotive engineering, and I like that. But it got to a point in time where I think I Googled like how much a mechanic or somebody that works in that type of facility makes, and the number, my stomach dropped. Like, I'm like, man, I'm doing all this work, and this is what you tell me I can potentially cap out at. So you got to be realistic with yourself. Like, if you're a teacher, I commend teachers, because first of all, you putting up with some kids that really don't want to be there.
Raised, right?
I mean, you got all type of adversity as a teacher. So if you choose that route to go educate people and go truly care for kids and be underpaid, then I can't do nothing but commend you, because you taking a loss. Like, but I knew in my gut, like, that ain't what I wanted to do. Like, I want to get paid well, and love what I was doing. So one of my friends was in the library, and he was in safety management, occupational safety management, and he showed me a job offer on his phone. And I don't even want to say the numbers, but the numbers was crazy. Like, numbers was crazy. I literally right there in that day got on the ISU website in the library and changed my major from the computer. Didn't go talk to an advisor, nothing. Changed my major. Went out on a limb, like literally went out on a limb, like, man,
work wonders for you.
Work wonders, and I love it. Like, but I actually love the major. So when I was taking the classes, that's another thing. When you go to college or you in school, pick something you like doing. Because if you like doing it, you're going to want to do the work. If you don't like doing it, it's going to be just like taking a pre-reg, like taking music or gym or art. You don't want to really be there. So it's like you giving them 50% effort. If you really like thinking about doing this long term or putting your all into that craft, you're going to want to do the work. You're going to want to go to class. You're going to want to pay attention. You're going to want to apply yourself. So don't go just pick a major, or if your parents saying, go to school, you trying to make your parents proud, or that's what everybody in your class is doing, go to school.
Thanks.
But on the other end, I got another story from growing up. So I'm playing football. I went to Robert Morris in Chicago. I'm downtown heart of Chicago, looking over
trains, boy.
Found out I hate Chicago. Like, I literally hated everything about Chicago. I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. So I end up I asked my coach, could I redshirt? He told me no. He said, you can't redshirt. They wanted me to play. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Even if I play 1 year, I knew I was leaving, but for something in my gut just told me to leave now. So I packed my stuff up and I got up out of there right then and there. I go back home. My mom's, I'm at home. I'm not enrolled in no school. My mom's like, you got to get a job. So I get a job at FedEx ground, loading trucks. And it was like a body shock. Like, I'm seeing boys in here, women, they 40s, 50s, like they do this every day. They get up every day, come in here from 7 to they don't get out here till it's dark. And I'm talking about, I'm only working 4 hours. I'm on a night shift. The hardest job I ever worked in I didn't work 12-hour shifts, 10-hour shifts. The hardest 4 hours I ever worked in my life. And it kind of hit me like, it take money to make money. So don't think you about to, you know what I'm saying, jump out there. If you don't got a plan and you think you're going to go just, sit around, be a couch warrior, sit on your mama's couch and go buy all the new shoes and stuff. It's easy to, do that type of stuff, but it's hard to really apply yourself and pay all your bills and still do the things you want to do. So that kind of shocked me. Like, I got to get out of here. I went to Ivy Tech, busted out like a 4.0. I'm talking about, I'm on a computer every day. Like, I got to get back to school. I like, this can't be the end of my name right here.
I feel like, and that's one thing too. Like you just said with Ivy Tech, very unpopular route as far as the college experience, but college is such a big investment, and they try to make it seem like they allow people with super low scores and stuff like that to come in and give them an opportunity.
No,
they give you that opportunity, but the resources, they're there, but they are not trying to reach out to those kids. Like there's certain programs and stuff like that. Oh, do this summer program, then boom, get in school. But
Cool.
then as soon as they get school starts, that same support that they had, it ain't really, you feel me, holding up. So that's an investment itself. You feel me? So with investments, you gotta put grind to it, or you lost it. So if you're not sure about your major, you're not sure about if the college thing for you, I would definitely go community college first.
Yeah, save money, save a lot of
Yeah,
money.
to me,
Classes is
I kind of knew
cheaper.
what I wanted to do outside. Like as soon as I got to school, I knew how much my major made before I got into it. But I chose happiness over everything. You feel me? Until I figured out how like exploited they are and how undervalued they are as far as how much they do.
Yeah.
This is to advocate for anybody that's athletic trainers. Y'all deserve like 100K plus because y'all literally have lives in your hands. Y'all can do a lot more than what y'all could back then, and y'all getting paid like not even worth what you're supposed to be paid. So I'm gonna give that shout out to them. But
and y'all got to be up at 5 a.m. We
yeah,
got team straight. You got to be at every workout.
Yeah, and it's like you legit giving your all to them. You got to be alert at all times. Like
You on
the
call.
one thing I can say is like you learn a lot. You feel me? I learn a lot. I can take care of myself with anything now. Like you feel me? But definitely with an investment that big, you want to make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. You want to make sure you go to a smaller school. Community college don't cost that much. You feel me? So if you go to one of those big schools, flunk out the first semester, you got 2, 3, 4K worth of debt already, and it's gaining interest after that 6 months if you're not paying on it. So like, I definitely would say make sure you know what you're doing before you go there, so it's not a waste.
Yeah, don't get tricked out, and your parents can trick you out your spot too. Your parents, oh, you got to go to college, you got to do this, you got to make sure you know what you want to do. Don't just jump out there because at the end of the day, your parents ain't paying Sally Mae back. Your parents ain't giving a dime. Well, hey, once they start calling you and it's on your credit, your parents is not paying nothing. So
you in that water for sure.
Make sure you know what you're doing. But I would say, man, it's different strokes for different folks, but that piece of paper definitely opened up a lot. And it ain't even about the piece of paper, it's the networking. See, a lot of people think you're going to college just for that degree, but at the same time, you're going to college to build a network. So you already got your people, you know what I'm saying? You got to lead a block to grow. You got your people in the city that you've been hanging with since you was, 10 up through high school. Y'all been, they mom, y'all didn't learn everything together. Ain't nothing more they can teach you. Right. So when you go to college, you meet people from different backgrounds, different cities, different connections, so you never know what can happen from just opening up that more door. The more people you expose to, I think that's the biggest part about college. The more people you expose to, the more you learn, the more derpers you.
If you open-minded, though.
Yeah, if you open, you gotta be willing. Gotta be willing to learn from that at the same time. But that networking, like you said, that nepotism, like I said, if you go to college, you might have a class with a couple guys and y'all become good friends. They get hired at some Fortune 500 company and hey, they call you. Hey, we looking for a guy. You might not even have a degree in that field, but they know he gonna vouch for you. Right. The company gonna believe him because he already laid the groundwork showing he was a good worker or a good employee. Then next thing you know, you working at the same company and you might not even have that same degree. So, right. It's 100% about who you know and not what you know. So,
right. And all wins ain't monetary. It's so much stuff that you can learn based on other people. Like as far as like mental health stuff, religious stuff, whether it's cooking, fixing a car, like them networks that you make. If you go into an open-minded, like I wouldn't even have met this dude, bro. I wouldn't have met this dude at first. What you do? You ain't stand Chicago. You feel me? So
yeah, I could. I ain't gonna lie. I was closed-minded to 100%. Like it got to the point where like you from Chicago, just don't talk to me. Like I don't know, we ain't nothing to talk about. Like there ain't nothing we can even say. But I had to realize like after I met you and talked to like everybody ain't the same. I can't put everybody under that same umbrella. Same thing with that's every city, and that's just talk about people like, and I see it all the time now. Like people be living in their hometown and be like, I'm up and I'm moving here. I'm up and I'm moving there. It's not going on here. No, it's going on there. You just don't know that crowd yet. And
exactly.
Whatever you're doing in the city you in, you move to a whole new city and continue the same actions you was doing in the previous city, you're gonna welcome the same trouble. You're gonna welcome the same exact problems you had in that city. It's poor people in every city, it's rich people in every city, it's parties in every city. It's women and dudes in every city. Like just because you move to the next city don't mean that ain't no city in America, ain't no city on the planet crime free. Ain't no city on America hater free. Ain't no city in America any of that. So like I see a lot of people that be their motive. Like I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta
And
go.
this dude that I'll be listening to named Miles Monroe, bro, he said something about don't quote me exactly, but he said something about like if you move based on feelings, the same issues gonna follow you. But if you move based on your purpose, you feel me? Like you actually like you feel me, figured out what you got going. You're not moving you're fixing yourself before you're moving. Like whatever
Right.
baggage you got in that same state you was just in, you're taking that to the next state. So
Right.
whatever you was running from, you feel me, you might be safer in a certain area, but the same problems that you was dealing with, you're gonna attract that same stuff back in the same in a different location.
Yep.
It's
That's
just
what I
gonna
tell
be
people all the time. Like you doing, and and what happens in the dark usually come to the light. So whatever you doing, whatever you got going on, you think you just gonna up and oh yeah, I'm gonna hit the highway and go to Houston and do this, set up the same bull you was doing in the last state, and don't think it's really more. You really in a more dangerous situation because
exactly.
you don't really know what's really going on around you. You going out a limb, having to trust new people. You setting up a whole new network.
And yet,
So
yet again, that's another investment.
definitely.
Another investment.
So I would never do that. I'm big on. I'm not just going up and move and uproot everything just because stuff's not going right where I'm at.
Yeah.
Now, if a better job opportunity or my family, say they want to move to a warmer climate and try that out or something like that, then yeah, that's different. But if you just like, oh, I can't find love, I can't do this, I can't do that, and then you just up and go to a new city, it's the same thing.
You got to think. I know that from man. How many times people like, hey, why is you still in Terre Haute?
So,
It's nothing to do here. You focus, work on yourself. You feel me? Stack your bread. Like, I'm moving on purpose. I'm not moving on emotional
yeah,
friends on. Oh yeah, this city bust. I'm over there. Like nah.
yeah, I'm there. They got all the day parties. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
Everything is precise. I'm moving precision. Now it's over with.
Definitely. And then just going off of that, I know we both played Alpha Phi Alpha while we was at Indiana State, and a big question, and definitely like I coach high school football, and when I come back home, a lot of people always asking me like they always got little questions or they think it's cool or they like it. Would you, if you had to go back in time, would you do it again?
Would I do it again? I wouldn't change nothing about my past, is what I would say. I wouldn't change nothing about my past because everything is made for a plan that you feel me that I don't even know about. You feel me? So I would still do it again. There are positives and negatives. What I will say, it did open my eyes to a lot. So as far as like some of the positives, I learned how to network better. I got out of my shell a lot more. Met some cool people. It taught me how to run a business. Once y'all left, you feel me? I had to figure it out. So once y'all left, I was like kind of on my own, but I did have some great some meals that definitely did their thing. You feel me? So like it helped me become a leader. It helped me develop more and helped me get a business mindset. That's how I ended up making my own business. Um, it did expose me to a lot of I wouldn't say unusual energy. I say met a lot of people who kind of the Greek life was really their crowning point of their life. Met a lot of people who weren't in it for the right reasons. Met a lot of people, and not just I'm not saying with Alpha. I'm saying like with Greek life. Period. It puts your life on a pot like on a reality TV show. Everything you do I don't know if it's like that for everybody, but I'm telling you right now, everything I did, even if I didn't do it, even if I didn't do it, you're the talk of the town now. So like handling that, definitely, I wouldn't take that bad because it helped me realize like people gonna say stuff regardless. Like it's just at a more high frequency now. They say it a lot more compared to what they did back then. I couldn't handle that at first, you feel me? So I was ready to, for a while we just get into everything.
Yeah.
You feel me? And now you can't even knock me off that square with those words now. So I needed that. So I wouldn't take back nothing. Did a lot of dope stuff. Bro, we helped Hurricane Harvey. We helped Flint Water Michigan Drive. Flint Michigan Water Drive. Like things like that. I didn't even have in my mind. Like, of course I'm like, man, that's sad, but like drive to help everything. So I'll be on Twitter scrolling. I see something crazy. Y'all gonna see me retweet it. I'm like, man, I want to help them out. So it kind of opened my heart a lot more too. What about yourself though, bro?
I would say the same thing. I wouldn't change nothing, but just my background and what I came from. Like only the positive role models in my life was all athletes. So it was either like you play ball or that was it. Like you in where it was football. So it was like everybody I looked up to was a football player. So when I got to college, and I'm like I said, trying to build a network and learning. Really, my fiance, she was more into Greek life than I was. I'm looking at it like, man, this is corny. I ain't even. That's the last thing in my mind. I'm looking at. I'm like, only thing I really looked at them like they in the party, just in the way. You know what I'm saying? You got to move out the way. It's like trying to respect them, stuff like that. So I started like looking into it and started looking into the history of it, and I started meeting different
I
guys
hated
and
moving
stuff.
out the way, by the way. In a
Yeah,
party.
yeah, I move out the way. Like, yeah, but dude, I ain't
I used
moving
to
out
be
the way. Like,
rude,
watch
bro.
out, dude. Like,
Man, back that ass up. I'm thinking first coming. Hey, they watch out. Y'all gotta
yeah,
move out. Nah,
yeah. You in a 14 by 10 house party living room, and you got 30 dudes trying to go inside. I'm like, man, y'all gotta stop.
many
But
degrees inside of
yeah,
there.
yeah. But so my fiance, like I said, my fiance, she was like, she loved, like I could tell her passion for it. So she kind of put me hip to it. So I got to looking at it and looking into the different fraternities and stuff like that. And then I made a decision on Alpha Phi Alpha. So after I, crossing Alpha Phi Alpha, I learned like I said, like my role model. So I'm thinking going in, like I said, I was a starting running back at a big high school in Indianapolis. So everybody knew my name already. Like I never, popularity and stuff like that was never hard for me to handle or deal with. So
That was Warren, right?
yeah,
Warren.
that was more essential. So I already knew I already knew that feeling of being the big man on campus or whatever it is. That's what you want to call it. So when I'm going into it, I'm literally like, man, I'm trying to change. Like I be feeling like I'll watch like Tupac interviews and stuff like that, like how Tupac could jump from activist to his normal self to back to him. Like and people like that's kind of how I always and still to this day feel like I have some positive stuff to say, but I burnt a lot of like growing up, I burnt a lot of bridges and I did a lot of things that I regret at a younger age. So when people see me, they either think of that moment or people that know me later in life will think of that moment. So it's like I was like, man, I'm trying to do something, to tilt my almost my my badge, if you want to say. I wanted to, show that I'm really trying to do positive stuff. And when I did it, I'm thinking like, yeah, we about to, like I said, we did the Hurricane Harvey. We was doing great things like that, but it was a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I figured out it was a lot of money type tip, like paying all this money and stuff like that. And I feel like all the money that I paid, I could have did the same thing I did on my own. Matter of fact, I probably could have been more ahead in my own agenda than. And I don't know if that's my personality trait or my leadership trait, but I don't like waiting on people's. I don't like, what I'm saying. If it's work to be done or if it's something to be done, I don't like waiting. Especially if we don't have to wait. I'm just waiting on people's really to move their feet. So it's kind of like it was like a culture shock. So I jump in and I'm like, all right, now we're all the work we doing, and it turned into this party here, this party there. We about to party here, we about to party here. It's a party tomorrow. We partying here. I'm like, all right, that's cool, but all the stuff I'm thinking, coming in blindfolded, what I thought we was gonna be doing, we really wasn't doing. And
Facts.
then, like you said, it's a lot of people who did it because, like I said, they might have been the corniest dude. Like that's one thing. When you go to college, you could beat anybody. You could
Anybody, bro.
like you go to college, you could read you like Urkel stepping into the little chamber, turning was it Stefan? Like
Stefan.
you could be
I don't
whatever you
even feel
want to
like it's
be.
only Greek though. I feel
No,
like
that's college in general. I ain't even
yeah,
speaking on just Greek. That's college in general. So, but with the Greek thing, it make it even worse because now you got a platform. So, like it's like when you see rappers and so they got platforms, you got to respect that platform, or you can destroy you, or you can, what I'm saying, you can do more damage with a platform than good. So, there's a lot of dudes that I probably never would have talked to in life, and I almost wish I probably never would have talked to in life that I had to deal with or operate around because of the Greek life. And so like when people think it from the outside looking in, they be like, oh, it's this brotherhood, it's a great brotherhood. And I hear that all the time. Like you didn't heard it in informationals. They come to, why you want to do this?
you get a brotherhood
Yeah,
anyway.
brother, like man, any brotherhood, you're not gonna be brothers with everybody.
Facts.
So you kind of gotta take that with a grain of salt. But I can say that, like I said, like we talked about earlier, building your network. Like my boss is a Kappa from Indiana State, and he an older Kappa, and he does that. So it do open up different avenues, or do like so you got that on your resume. You might meet somebody that can put you in a position to change, what you got going on in your situation. So, but like I said, the networking, people think, okay, I'm an alpha now, so all the networking is just gonna jump to me. Like people gonna start calling me, hey, I got this $100,000 job. You alpha, you just cross right. No, you got to put the work in yourself. You still got to make those networks. You still got to make those connections. You still got to be genuine. If you're not a genuine person, or you're not genuine to the situation, or coming at the situation genuine, you're not gonna get those what you're looking for. All you gonna do is
gym membership, dog. If you buy the
yeah,
membership, you ain't gonna get
yeah,
it until you go on
same
and
thing.
work out.
Okay, you buy an $80 gym membership and go once a week, you gonna still look like $10.
Yeah.
So you gotta still, you gotta do that type of situation. But would I do it again? Like I said, I wouldn't change that in the past. But if I could, if somehow, some way rewind, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't waste another $2,000. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. I didn't need to. Like, and even today, I'm not even, I'm not active, and and
Mm.
and that's kind of a decision I made on my own. I just felt like the agenda and the monetary situations that was coming from it wasn't what I really needed. And then even like I'm big on energy, like and I never was before, but just being big on the energy and time is money and the time that I got allowed. So I, I'm just kind of limit on the certain people I kind of deal with. If you got negative, you got bad habits, you can still be the homie, you can still be my friend, but I gotta love you from afar. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I got other stuff going on where I can't just be around bad vibes and bad decisions, all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I think another thing too, with a lot of, like you said, with the smoke and mirrors, I think after like growing, you feel me, I would still do it. Don't get me wrong. I would still do it, but I would go about a lot of things differently. I think one big thing that I kind of, it's kind of hypocritical because I did it and I did it heavily. Bro, we were like very, 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 very prideful. One, we were very intentional with showing, with broadcasting what we were doing good. I don't feel like if you feed a beggar with this hand, like the camera shouldn't be in the next hand. You feel me?
facts.
You're doing it because you want to.
Yeah,
We're listing everything,
yeah,
and
yeah,
he said check
yeah,
the scoreboard and stuff
yeah.
like
Check
that.
the scoreboard.
That's
So it
giving.
became
You
yeah
gotta give to out of your heart. You feel
out
me?
of your
So
heart.
we doing it for bragging. I don't get me wrong. I'm doing it because I love doing
Love
it.
doing it, but at the same time, we doing it
I
to
got
make
this,
Alpha look better.
jersey on my back. I got to put on for the team. Hey, man, we
Yeah,
just dropped 30 in this community
yeah,
service. You feel me? Like we just did our thing.
yeah,
Alpha's up. Check the score. But like, I would never go back to that type of mentality. But
yeah,
it showed me like certain things that you unlearn. Like after a while of not doing it, it disgusts you. You feel me? So like, I wouldn't dare like all that posting and stuff like that. I do plenty of community service. I don't care.
yeah.
I don't have a dime in my pocket. I'm gonna get what I can. I got some old clothes. I'm gonna get it, but I'm not gonna. Hey, I just came down the street and I gave this. You feel me?
Yeah.
To me that's weak.
Yeah, that's like seeing you know what I'm saying? Like that's like seeing a homeless person on the corner and you turn your phone around and give
Yeah,
them $1. You don't gotta do that type of stuff. And that's kind of what the environment they breed. Like that's our whole thing. To be chapter of the year, you gotta meet
you
all
gotta,
these
you gotta
meet all
buy.
these documents. And I understand that, and I understand it from both ways though, because if I had my own non for profit that was feeding the homeless, you would have to get B-roll and stuff like that if that was your non for profit. But if you just doing something on the fly, you just doing something on the fly, or you see you doing something out of kind of your heart is different than having a non for profit.
Right.
Because even most people know even if it's a non for profit, you
They
still
still
get some profit.
getting profit.
You still getting something from it. So that's not something I'm big on it either. If I'm helping you out or you in a tight spot, it shouldn't be nothing. I shouldn't have to say nothing about it. And then
I feel
speaking
like
of that too, like
look,
we was in situations where you help somebody out, or not even I'm not even talking on the alpha tip, and people want to count that favor. Like that's one of the things I hate the most.
yeah, I can't stand it.
Like if I did something for you, I don't really care. Like it ain't
Not
never me for me to
calculated,
be like,
eating up, none of that.
yeah, I remember I did this for you back. Nah, it ain't that. Now, if I borrow something from you or you borrow something from me, that's you borrowing it. I need that back. But if I'm saying, I see you down or something's going on and I give it to you or you give it to me, it should never be I shouldn't have to move differently around you. You shouldn't have to move differently around me.
Right.
And then, that's different. I think that's a whole nother topic, but people know, like you can feel people's energy when they know they in a grimy type of situation. Like say somebody owe you money and they just get to moving different. The phone calls change, the energy change. It's like, but you moving wrong, so why you treating me different? I ain't even mad, but your soul, your energy, your personality is telling you to change, act differently because they know you wrong.
Boy, it's going crazy outside. My bad.
Oh, it's raining.
For sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like just like the energy, that type of person. I feel like I ran into a lot of those people in college where I had to separate myself. Like I don't like count favors. You count favors. I mean, like I said, it ain't no bad. I don't got beef with nobody, but it's just
Nice. And like it's a
I
difference.
know you from afar.
It's a difference between like you feel me. I'm showing love and you not taking advantage of it. But like as far as like I'm not. Oh, I did this for you last week or the stuff like people. It's definitely like you said. As you get older, you start realizing certain like you start detecting energies like a lot faster than what you did when you were younger. Like younger, you were way gullible. I mean, you show my issue is I show too much love, but now I know how to show it in moderation.
Yeah,
because a lot of people exploit that love, which at that point I'm not counting favors. I'm just letting you know like boom, 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 and then there's nothing back. Like I just keep doing it. We cool still. And another thing too, I hate how if y'all fall off, y'all don't have to be, bro. Like if I'm not cool with you no more, we don't have to. You feel me? We don't have to. No, we see each other. We speak. It's still love. I love you. Still love. But we just not on that same type of time.
We not in that same, we not in that same time space no more.
Yeah. It don't got no beef, bro.
But that's the one thing I be trying to work on, and on my own personal tip though, is not changing my personality off of your actions. So and one of my good friends I grew up with, I always recommend, like I always like admired him for it because like I got a quick temper. Like my temper always been quick. Like no matter what you did to him, like it had to be something, physical harm, body harm for him to get out his body. And I used to let people, trick me out my spot and get me out my body, or like get me out my poker face. So that's kind of one thing I always wake up like when I, checking my mental. I'm in the car, like, okay, if I'm not rocking with you, I'm not feeling how you really feeling. I don't need to express that. You know what I'm saying? And most moms always say, you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So, I mean, that little piece of game right there, like, especially, and I tell all the young guys that when you get to a job, like, you're going to have somebody who, no matter what job you work, I don't care how much you love the job, it's going to be one person at that job that you cannot stand, but you cannot let them trick you because they're going to do it. And once they know, and certain people, and I forgot what the actual psychology term for it is, but they know that they getting under your skin and they can tell.
Sure.
They try
different things. They scientists with it. They surgeons.
So they know.
They finally see what was
know. So then you snap or you say something to them disrespectful, and then now you out of a job, or you the problematic one, or you the one that can't work within the team. So no matter, especially in the work setting, and the younger guys, I'm telling you, like, if you young coming up looking for a job, you can't go in there thinking you can just say whatever, have your attitude, or turn your face up. Like you got to take some of that stuff on the chin. Like it just, you get in the car, you scream, you get in the car, but when you in that meeting, you in that workplace with people that, their job type, been with a company, and this is what people don't understand. A lot of companies don't pay off of your performance. They pay off of your time with the company, your loyalty to the company. So that's what's changed in generations, especially our generation. We don't practice loyalty with companies. If you're not paying what we want, if you're not giving us what we need to, for our personal or our time off or whatever, they just leave the company. Whereas, before, and the generations before, they've been with these companies. I'm 30 years in with this company. I'm 25 years within this company. Where I know people right now my age that's probably worked it, and they feel like people with college degrees has probably been like 7 different companies, because if you're not meeting their expectations, they're not taught to be loyal and work it through. They're taught to, we just gonna go to the next ship. So things change, but you can't get that bad tag put on your name. And all these companies connect, especially in field. You exercise science, or that's like being a coach, or you assistant coach, you a defensive coordinator, you something that deals with one big field. Like say you an athletic trainer, and you go to IU and you that trainer, and you spaz out the head coach or something, you spaz out. You don't think every head coach from here to Florida gonna know,
Exactly.
Jalen Banks, he's a high head. I wouldn't give him an opportunity. Then you get that blackball tag. That's the same. People don't understand that happens in every field.
Exactly. And it's a lot easier when you're black. Like that black ball when you're black is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean,
The forgiveness level is like they forgive you for so little, bro.
It's 4 African Americans in my company, and I don't know what the actual total minority count, but it's 4 in the entire company. So I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, the barriers are changing, and but what a lot of people don't understand is these companies have to meet DB dollars, and if you don't know what that is, it's the diversity dollars that the government gives you.
Exactly. They're not
So
doing it for love.
so a lot of times you in that spot, and I'm not saying walk away from that spot because you in it, but just understand that you're in that. You might be in that position just so they get that money.
Exactly.
So but again, use that to your advantage as well. You starting a new business or you starting a business, you got to think like if I'm starting a business and you a subcontractor or something like that, you gonna win. You a minority, a woman, or a veteran. These companies have to hire you. So if you have your own smaller company, you have to get hired. So I mean, it's advantages and disadvantages to it. But
what I would say too is like stay true to who you is, and if you want to, like as far as with the social media and stuff like that, if you willing to bite that bullet, by all means, post what you want to post. Because I ain't gonna lie, I post what I want to post. Because that's what if you want me, you gonna take me for who I am, and I gotta live with that. But if you scared about not making a job and getting a job and stuff like that, man, y'all better filter what y'all say because they looking. They looking.
Look. I actually know a girl from Indianapolis. Actually, I just went to her wedding. She made a post talking about just basically like why I think it was either a holiday or something, or it was pay. She was talking about how the president of her company make all this money and she making this, but she was really doing it to be funny, but she ended up going viral and she lost her job off that video. But in the same token, I mean, like especially when Trump, first got in office and things like that, I saw a lot of coworkers posting the Trump, when he was saying some of the most hateful things,
And they leashed this long.
Yeah. So, and that's the same thing I was telling people when it came down to who was it? Was it what's his name? Paul Pierce. Yeah, maybe he shouldn't have been fired, but at the same time, we got to do better. Like it ain't fair, but we got to do better. What he did fireable? I don't know. I don't work for ESPN. I don't know what their guidelines is for termination, what their marijuana policy is. I don't know any of that. But at the same time, you can't, from the outside looking in, you can't just say, oh. And that's one thing that the African Americans do that I don't really like is they try to throw that race card in every situation, like just like with the track runner,
Gary
Richardson. Yeah. She lives in a weed state, and she just had a loss, and she had a lot of things stacked up against her. But just take it from my example. I have a job where I make great money. I'm able to feed my my family. My family lives well. They don't want for nothing. And I can't smoke marijuana. I don't even really like smoking marijuana. I did, growing up, and I did a couple times in college. But if we get to the point where if you get caught for a dirty test, everything you've been working so hard for gets taken away, would you do it?
Yeah.
That just comes to discipline at that point. It's plenty of jobs and plenty of things you can do in the world where you can smoke all day long. So that's when people kind of say like, weed and stuff is addictive. Weed is addictive. Like if you got to tell me you got to smoke to eat, and you got to, I'm not really hungry, I ain't smoked yet. You're addicted. Like that's an addiction. Like, so it's addiction and discipline. So
yeah, I'm about to say it too. It depends on the person too, because some people are more. A lot of people don't think about their brain when it comes to certain like apps, substances.
Yeah.
Like even with anything, bro, whether it's eating, whether it's like your brain is adept to like a more high risk for addictions. You like something that's not addictive could become addictive. Like
definitely. But I'm not faulting her. I've seen a lot of people faulting her, and everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. Hell, Iron Man is a hero what I forgot the actor's name. He plays Iron Man in all the major movies.
Nah, that's the actual name.
Yeah, but it's real. It ain't. I don't know his real name, but he was addicted to, was it cocaine or heroin? At some point in time, he was addicted to a drug, and they still able him to play this character Iron Man, who every little kid almost in America looks up to. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's worth a second chance. Everybody, you know, don't just throw her under the bus because she made a mistake. But at the same time, she did make a mistake that she needs to tighten up on.
Right.
It wasn't a race car. It wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't an injustice done to her. You know, right. she got her penalty. It was a 30-day suspension. Michael Phelps got caught. It wasn't around Olympic times. He still got suspended from the Olympic team. So, you know, at some point we got to hold each other accountable, you know, and that's the only thing I don't like in situations. And then some situations do be unjust, but at the same time, there's no accountability. Like, you know your cousins like, it be people I see post free him. Like, you know he wild. Like, you scared of him. Like, come on now. Like, when they hit the fan, it's they this and this. Like, no. Like,
what I will say, I support her. Like, you feel me? Things happen. You feel me? She was going through a lot. I wouldn't even tell her not to do it. You feel me? But the thing is that if you're gonna do it, just take that L with it. You feel me? Like that.
Yeah. And she took her L. She took her L. Like, she took it. She said, "Hey, I had what's going on," but I seen the community just trying to make it and fish and make it for something more than what it needed to be. You know, she made a mistake. Mistakes happen, but you got to consequences come with every one of them. Like, so I couldn't sit there and say, you know, yeah, it was an injustice done to her, and you know, that's just like saying, you know, you get in trouble at school for fighting. Like, well, I know in my high school, you got to a fight, even if you didn't start the fight. Both of y'all got
you gone too.
Yeah, both suspended. Like, this was gonna happen. So, but I feel like that was just a discipline. And then I had another question, just to spin off of that, you know, before we get out of here on this episode. Do you think it's a productive way to pocket watch?
A productive way to pocket watch.
Do you think all pocket watching is negative?
Not all.
Because it's like definitely in the black community, but in really all communities.
It depends on what your motive is in that pocket watching. So if you pocket watching to see how successful people spend their money, like the do's and don'ts, I rock with it. But if you pocket watching on some negative, like, oh, he got this much.
He got this because he did this. He got this because he did
and a lot of people do it too. I understand. I do it myself too.
Yeah.
They are not entitled to spend their money how you would spend
your money.
Yeah. A lot of times, I ain't gonna lie, I hate seeing people throw money away. I've been to KOD one time. Like, I've been to KOD. I threw money, all that. I'm not a fan. I've never been back. I'm not a fan of throwing money when I know, one, I done struggled before.
Yeah.
Currently, like, currently money ain't where I want it to be at. And it's people out here who in way worse positions. I'm helping somebody out with that, bro.
Yeah.
Like the video with Kodak throwing that money in the water. I hope it was fake money, bro. Like, it's a lot of people.
Yeah, that was sick.
He Haitian, you feel me? He Haitian, and he's from underprivileged
Golden Acres project.
Golden Acres, you feel me? You could buy that out, 100K. You know how much you can do in Haiti with 100K, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but yet again, like I said, I can't tell them how to spend their money. But sometimes I do. I pocket watch successful people like Jay-Z. Yeah. Like, I look up to, like, Jay-Z. Great business mind. People think Herb is just all about drill. Herb is he is an investment like mogul now. He look up to Jay-Z. You feel me? I want to see I like looking at black people where they came from, or anybody who came from an underprivileged situation and how they progress and how they get their money going.
Because I think it's just a term, and definitely in our culture that always has a negative outlook. Like, good pocket watching, like, you. No matter what, quick pocket watch, why you pocket watching me? Like, and it definitely can be negative. And,
it can.
And 70% of the time when I hear it, it's in a negative connotation. And that's one thing. Like, I feel like we talking about accountability and discipline. I hold my friends accountable. Like, if somebody called me and want to talk to me about another one of my friends or talk to me about, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that. Like, if you're not telling me what we can do differently, or if he going through something, what we can do to stop it, Don't just call me because you want to just talk about how bad, you know what I'm saying? And I heard, I think Diddy, he was on Instagram. P Diddy, he had said something. Like, don't call me, but I felt that hit home so crazy. I had just had that conversation with one of the homies. Like, bro, like if somebody doing bad, bro, let's figure out either how we gonna fix it or what. I'm not about to just sit here and talk to you about how bad he doing every single day. Or you
I don't like that gossip, no way, bro.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Right.
But I feel like you can, like, just like I heard Floyd say, like, he the millionaires and billionaires he hung out around and calling him out to parties at their yachts and stuff like that. And he was like, no, I don't want to come party. I want to learn how y'all got that yacht. I want my own yacht. I want my own skyscraper. So, watching other people move and picking up on habits. This is like if you play sports, you go to practice. When you was a freshman, you saw the best player on your team. You saw how he was grinding. You saw what workouts he was doing. You saw the extra work he was doing. That's pocket watching.
Right.
You pocket watching what he got,
bro. It's inevitable. Everybody got a role model. Everybody.
But black people are so quick to, and that's in college too. Like I promise you, like, and this is free sauce for the world. Like a lot of those, white fraternities, people from Middle Eastern, they have all the coursework. So when a student comes through beforehand, he saves all of his coursework and gives it back to the next generation.
Right.
That's every time.
Right.
But say that it's professors who didn't teach a course before that gets all the tests and stuff from another professor that taught the course.
Yeah.
So it's that's why I say college taught me how to finesse, because everything is seeing how you can use your resources. And then 9 times out of 10, when you jump out of college and you get into a field or wherever you're working in, you have to use your resources. You have to be able to, okay, I don't know this answer. Who can I call that can get me this answer? You don't have to know everything at a job. See, a lot of people, I met a lot of people and people in life that I feel like they struggle. They book smart. They know how to remember an answer. They know how to remember, okay, this is going to be on the test. I need to remember this. But they don't know how to apply it to a real world application. So they can tell you, okay, yeah, this is X, Y, B equals this. But then when it's time, okay, they got it in front of them and it's time to get something done, or it's time to put a play in action, they don't know the first thing to do, because they so used to just somebody, okay, here's your syllabus. You got to do this, got to do that, got to do this. But I hate that pocket watching just has to be. I know I kind of jumped off tab, but pocket watching got to be used so negative in the black community. It's like,
you say you do pocket watch? Like, is there
I'm saying I pocket watch the right people. I'm not I never pocket watch. Like, I hear it all the time, like especially with people, some of my homies get out the army. I hear somebody say, like, he got a motorcycle, he get a bike, or he get a crib. Oh, he got that because he got the army. He got out the army, so he got it. That's that army money. Like, even if it was that army money, why are you? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm confused on why you mad.
Here for that man.
Yeah, so I hear that all the time. I see somebody buy a new car, like, oh, he's scamming, or he doing this, he doing this. Like, it devalues, and it'd be that same person. It'd be like, he's scamming, or he doing this, or he did this, or his mom passed and left him this. They'd be the same people who wish that same situation happened to them. Exactly. That's what I don't like. That's the kind of type of pocket watching I don't like. But I do believe there's a positive type of pocket watching, and I believe you can learn, like I said, build networks. You could pocket watch yourself into a network that could change your life forever. Like, so you could be at the gym. Like you said, you go to the gym every day. You be in the gym, see you do pull up in a nice car. You in there working out with you didn't already peep his car. You see, he got, he had doing his thing, whatever he's doing. Y'all get you squat him on a set, or you spot him on a set, and then all of a sudden he asking you, oh, you got a college degree? Okay, I got this job opening up in my company, and he bring you aboard. Now you in a whole new. You done jumped up 4 tax brackets just off of pocket watching.
Facts.
So like, I just hate, like, especially the younger kid. They think, you say anything about money or somebody else's money, then you automatically pocket watching, or you.
What I say to the young and old, bro, like, I changed my mentality too. It's like, cheer with everybody's success. You feel me? Like, everything you see, even if it ain't your avenue, bro, cheer with their success. And then when like mourn with the mourners, you feel me? Like, that blocks your blessings when you think about, oh, this happened for him because of this, or I wish that was me. Like, that's like, everybody blessing ain't the same, bro. Like, sometimes you're not even ready for that blessing. And we like that question I asked you, we're gonna talk about later, well, a different podcast, but sometimes people don't even be prepared for the blessing that they want. Like you don't get that blessing and fumble it.
Yeah.
Plenty. I done fumbled plenty of blessings.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for it. You feel me? He give you a little bit. You feel me? They give you a little bit to see what you do with it, and you mess it up. You feel me? You gotta be ready for it.
Yeah, definitely at a young age. If you get definitely with money, and I know money ain't the only blessing, but you get blessed with money at a young age, you definitely not matured enough to ready to know what you really want to do with it. You can run, you can mess up. And I cut it short. I know we kind of running short on time. When I first got my first job, I bought a $1,500 pair of Yeezys. Fresh out the store, like fresh off a goat, like fresh off. I'm like, man, it's my first check. Took my first check from my job and bought a $1,500 pair of shoes. I look back on that now, like I'm an idiot. Like I was like,
that's the culture though. That's the culture.
That was the culture. But like you said, just blessings. Like I think now, like all that money from when I was still in school, coming down there to party with y'all and enjoying my last semester of college. Like I could have probably I could have had a small business off the ground in that little 6-month time span. All the money I was spending on just dumb stuff.
But it take them L's to learn what you learn though.
Definitely.
Like all them, like a lot of them L's is what you need to make you feel me, get in that mindset. Like, but I'm just glad I fumbled smaller bags. You feel me? Because now that when I get that real bag, you feel me, I know exactly what to move with, like how to move with.
Facts. But yeah, man, hey, we're gonna cut this one. Wrap it up, man. This was supposed to be the intro, and we didn't went crazy.
It's too many avenues, bro. Too many avenues,
man. I appreciate everybody, man. This is
real
episode
quick.
Season 1.
Shout out
to the OTE.
Yes, sir. Only the East.
Only the East.
Out of Gary, Indiana, bro. Making something happen as well.
Yo, Only the East clothing line, man. Check him out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for the first episode, Season 1, Episode 1. This is the intro. We be back weekly. Hopefully on our next podcast, we have a subject matter expert on here for y'all. So stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Hometeam SAGA, my boy.
The saga must continue.